Okay, we're going to do another video on graphing. I'm going to take this, I'm just going to do one question, one problem, but I'm going to go step by step. So hopefully this will clear up any issues and areas of confusion. So one thing at a time, we're going to have two axes, horizontal axis and a vertical axis. These are really just number lines. So I'm going to label them. First I'll number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to count out and label and number every single square. We're going to count by ones vertically and horizontally. 3, 4, 5. And that's enough for now. And make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -5. And so we know if we need to count, we go 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. Now, one of the really important things when we label the axes is we need to make sure we remind ourselves which is the horizontal or the x-axis, and the vertical is the y-axis. So we're going to label those. So that's the first thing. Then we're going to identify the slope, which is we call m, and the y-intercept, right, which is b. So remember we're using the slope-intercept form of a line, which is y equals mx plus b. The m is the number in front of the x, the coefficient of x. B is the constant value. That's the value. That's the number that is just a number. So we look over here, the one that's just a number is that number right there, which is 4. So B is 4. Now remember, that's a point. So we're going to call that. So the y-intercept is 4, but make sure you remember that it's 0, 4. And then the slope is, well, the slope is rise over run. Sometimes that will be an integer, so like 5 or -5 or -4, but here it's a fraction. And even if it is an integer, you want to write it as a fraction always. So if the slope were 5, you would write it as 5 over 1. Here we don't have to worry about that. Our slope is just -4 over 3. So that means if we look at this, the rise is -4, which would be down, and the run is over 3. So I'm going to just put a little arrow here and an arrow here to remind myself. Now, the first thing you're going to do is this is the first step of actually graphing it. So we identify this first. Now we're going to plot the y-intercept. The y-intercept is right here. That's 0, 4. So we go over here and we count up to 4, which is right here. And that's the first point. I'm going to make a point there. We could use a different color if we wanted, but I'm going to use just that color there. Now, that's one point only. We're going to need at least 2 points so we can draw a line through it. So the way you find the next point will be by using the slope. So you start at this point right here. So this is where we begin with. So we begin at the y-intercept, and then we move using the slope. So we've got -4 over 3. We're going to go down 4 and then over 3 from that point. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Make a point. So that's the second step. Okay. Now, this third step is optional, but it's still a good idea to do. If we know that this is a straight line, so the line has to go through these points. That's really all we need. But like I said, it's not a bad thing to do, especially now when we're practicing. We're going to use the same slope, so -4 over 3, but this time we're going to start from our second point, which is this one. So we go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what we did the first time, right? Went down 4, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So down 4 over 3. 1, 2, 3. Make our second point. Our third point, I'm sorry. So that's this one. Now we're going to draw the line. So you go from that point up to that point, and then you connect the dots and go all the way through. And that's it.